everyone, it's Sam here at Model Chili Scale Models, and here is Bandai's Perfect Grade 172 scale Millennium Falcon, which is actually a commission build for a client based in the US. So I'm really excited to get this opportunity to build this kit, which I thought I'd never have the chance to build, not in the short term anyway. And so I'm really looking forward to see how the kit builds up. And there's far too much plastic at the moment to go through. I mean, I can't even fit the camera on the desk, so what I'm going to do is just get stuck right into it. I think I'll start with the figures, and then we'll have a close-up look of all the parts as I start to build and paint it. And before I get to the figures, I just thought I'd have a quick look at the instruction book, and it really is a book, and it's quite thick compared to some of the other Bandai kits. That's kind of understandable given the size of this model. There's some really nice reference photos there of the painted model. And then it's just all the standard instructions, the lighting kit, the figures, cockpit, mandibles, lots and lots of detail. So looking forward to this. Docking ports, main hull, more lighting. Gun turrets, engine, radar dish, more detail, lots more detail, engine grills, which has a photo etch for them, stand, and then we get to the painting reference guide, which is a nice kind of computer rendering of the Falcon, and cockpit guide, painting guide, and then figures and general weathering. And so I've cut off the actual figures from the larger sprue. There's just 6 of them. So there's Han, Chewie, Luke, Obi-Wan, Leia and C-3PO, no R2. And so I'm just going to give them a quick blast of the Tamiya primer, and then I'll start painting them up. And now with them primed, I'm just going to do a black undercoat for 3PO and Chewie. And for the human skin tone, I'm just going to use Tamiya's acrylic flat flash XF15, which is my go-to light skin colour. And now for Chewie's base coat, I'm just going to be using Vallejo's German Red Brown. I just want a nice deep brown, reddish brown. And now for 3PO, I've got, of course, gold. And I'll have to do multiple coats to get a nice thick, even layer. And now just a bit of basic white for Leia's robe. Now for Luke, I want a bit of an off-white colour, so I'm going to be using 1 part white with 1 part Vallejo's aged white, which is 71132, which is a bit too yellow, I think, on its own, so I'm going to have to mix it up with some white. Now for Obi-Wan's undergarments, I'm going to be using the same German red brown as I did before. And for Han Solo's pants, I'm just going to use Vallejo's basic blue. And some of these colours may seem a little bit bright at the moment, but they'll be toned down with a wash and the clear coats. So I've painted Han's undershirt and Obi-Wan's robe just the aged white on its own. And now to paint Han's vest, which I'm just using black. Alright, so I've painted Luke's hair and his boots just the same colour, which was, what was it? It's just sand yellow there. And then Han and Leia's hair, the same colour, just that red-brown-ish colour, and a few coats so it sort of darkens up a bit. And now I'm just going to do a few highlights on Chewie's fur coat, because he does actually have quite a variation in the colour of his hair, so I'm just going to dry brush on a little bit of black towards the feet and across a little bit across the chest. I'm also going to dry brush over some lighter colours just to give it a few highlights. Alright, so one thing the Bandai instructions does suggest is painting C-3PO with a base coat of gold and then adding transparent yellow over the top, which, now that I've thought about it, actually makes sense because he is kind of a yellowish gold colour. So I've just got the Tamiya clear yellow. I'm just going to apply a thin coat over the gold. And I can already see that really having an effect, so I don't think I would have thought of that if Bandai hadn't have suggested it. And now for some red striping down Han's pants. I know there's supposed to be dashes, but that's a bit small to replicate at this scale. Alright, so before I finish up all the detail work and apply a wash, I'm just going to remove them from the sprue. So then I can clean up the spots where I cut them off. And now for Chewie, I'm just going to dry brush on a little bit of lighter brown. And now for a bit of silver. And a bit of silver for 3PO's shin. And now with the detail painting complete, I'm going to do a bit of shadow highlighting using Vallejo's light grey wash. Just a very small amount on the brush. And I'm just going to apply it to some of the recessed areas just to give them a bit more definition. And to bring out some of the facial features as well. And with the wash applied, I put on a thin clear coat, and then after that a final flat clear coat using Tamiya's TS80. And so that's just sealed in all the paint and the wash, and that's the figures pretty much done. Just do a couple of quick close-ups here. So we've got C-3PO with his silver leg. I put in a couple of little yellow dots for his eyes, so that's just coming through there. And his black waist. I actually left C-3PO with the shiny clear coat, just to make him sheen a bit more. And then we've got Chewie. Put on a little black nose and lightened up around his mouth a little bit there. And I really like how his coat has come out in all different shades and layers. And then Han Solo with his holster, his red striping. So that's come out quite nice. And then Obi-Wan with his tatty robe. Lots of different colours down there for the wash and the weathering. And a little thin strip for his moustache and beard. So quite pleased with how the facial hair came out. Just a couple of brush whiskers there for the white beard. Yeah, Princess Leia, she was pretty simple, just the white dress, dark brown hair, black shoes. Kept in a little bit of shading for the dress, but didn't want to go overboard. And then Luke with his Tatooine garb. So that's a bit weathered. A little silver buckle. Blondish brown hair. And yes, I'm quite happy with how those have come out. And so with those complete, it's now time to start on the cockpit and the seats and the cockpit instruments. So that'll involve a few decals and some lighting. So that completes the first part of this epic build. I hope you've enjoyed watching that and found it useful or informative. And as always, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below. And I hope to see you in the next part. So until then, thanks for watching and take care.